G'day everybody, we are back for another split of the VCS. As always, it is me, Everyday Caster, with my trusty, reliable co-caster Yulwei. How are you, man? We're finally back.
I am so incredibly excited. We are back, and the VCS will hopefully deliver today. Team Flash against EVOS, and then Gum against Cerberus. All of the interesting new lineups playing today. Ooh, we are finally back. It was way too long. Man, we haven't cast on this channel for, if you don't count the promotion tournament, for like half a year already.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Man.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get back into it. So, one thing I do want to just say before we do anything else, as you might notice, we've got a bit of production value. How about that?
Yeah.
So that is Pengaro in the Discord, and he's in chat at the moment. So everybody, give a little round of applause to him. He's done a heap of he's done quite a few things. So we're actually gonna look, have a bit of production value. How good?
You can actually see us this time.
I know, right? We're on the screen. That might be a bit of a blessing or a curse, depending on which way you're looking. In my defense, it's 40 degrees right now. Anyone would look rough. But
also, I want to shout at you every day because I wanted you to be my co-caster last year, and I ran the production, and now you actually are the one running most of the production here. So big shout out to you because your computer and your internet is better. Big thank you.
Oh yeah, big shout out to the Australian government to get us up to third world standards of internet connection. Unfortunately, we both live in countries famous for their terrible internet. But on to things people, I'm sure, are much more excited about. We have the VCS. So our first series tonight is pretty interesting. Flash versus EVOS. I'm really interested to see Flash. They're who I'm really looking forward to. EVOS is interesting, don't get me wrong. But I think Flash are going to be the really interesting one.
Yeah, I think both teams have exciting lineups. EVOS is a little bit more of the unknown lineup, more rookie talent, a little bit of reunion between Parquet and Zorn.
Yep.
But then Flash is the one we are very excited for because we both have a little bit of bias for our boy Yoshino in the top lane, right?
Absolutely.
He was our favorite player in the first half of the split last summer, and he played an incredible first 7 weeks. Not 7 weeks, 4 weeks, I think. So
it's half the split.
Finally, he got the starting spot. I'm super excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely going to be the most exciting player to watch on Flash. But overall, I think their team is really good. If you watched our podcast, we did do an episode of Between Wildcard and Dark Horse with Jensen, who had a lot of very strong opinions on subjects and had some really good insight. And we talked about Flash, so I definitely think they're interesting. What's your opinion for this match? I think most people are backing Flash to win, but where do you see EVOS having a chance?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to come down for EVOS to have a chance here. Hero needs to perform against Yoshino on the top lane, and we have seen Hero perform very well. He had a very rough second half of summer, but the first half of summer, we even awarded him, I think, 1 week MVP. So if he can go back to that form, he could definitely do something here. So I'm not quite sure if Yoshino is actually starting.
Just cutting off. Just click the wrong button on screen. Ignore that, guys. Just jump to our pause screen for half a second.
But yeah, I talked a little bit about Parquet and Swan being the renowned duo. They reached the finals of VCS once already. So if they can go back to a lot of synergy and exploit a little bit of the new blood there in Carty in the mid lane for Flash, who's not an entirely new player, not a rookie, so to speak, but he's still new in Flash. I think EVOS should definitely try to go through mid lane, try to bring Parker ahead, or maybe Thorn. That's their way to victory.
Yeah, I definitely think that is very, very likely. I'm really interested to see Parquet in this game because he is the big question mark for Flash, right? If he is a hole in the mid lane, suddenly this team could slip. Like, I think most people are backing them to be second behind the big boys of Gum. But I mean, I have actually I did it in the end. I chickened out, but I know you bet on them to be first.
I have them first.
About to accidentally steal your credit
in the side lanes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's it's a spicy call, but it's definitely not a completely stupid. So, but I mean, it'll come down to Parquet, right? The side lanes look great, but that mid lane does have to be very solid.
So one quick little thing before we jump into pick and bans. If you want to participate in our prediction game, which you can find if you open up the Discord, go there now, because there's not a lot of time left. The predictions will lock whenever the first game of the series starts in pick and ban, so probably 1-2 minutes away from the locking for the first series. Go there quickly, predict your games. You get 2 points for series for the winner of the series. If you predicted the score correctly, you get 1 extra point. And in the end of the split, whoever got the most points will be awarded, I think, the big brain. Yeah. He will be called the big brain. So if you want to be the big brain, go there, predict your outcomes.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you? I think we differ in game score. We're both taking Flash, which I think you're inting if you don't pick Flash. A little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we differ in game scores. I called it a 2-1. Did you end up changing yours?
I think I had 2-0 for Flash. I changed my second prediction for today, but the first prediction...
Actually, I think I might have had 2-0.
Josh will go 2-0.
I need to check. I'll need to check the document. I might have put 2-0. I did it a while ago. So if I did 2-1, well, won't I look silly? But yeah, we should be getting into it soon. If we want to sort of talk about things to look at, because obviously it's been, 6 months since we did any real VCS. League of Legends, very different game, as it is at the start of every season. What do we think are some really relevant picks, or in particular, things that they haven't picked? Looking at you, CBL. Doesn't play Nautilus or Leo.
Both support players today are very interesting, because their most played champs differ a little bit. They both have Rakan up there, Thresh, stuff like that. Braum, they have played Braum before, but both of them not very high on Leona or Nautilus. And we know Leona and Nautilus dominated all of Pro for the last 2 months. Nautilus got a little nerf in 10.2. We are not quite sure if we're playing on... Yeah. I mean, I think it's 30 on the last on level 9, right? But yeah, not the biggest of nerfs. Leona still very, very strong. We see a lot of Braum parity in all the other leagues. I think Braum is the highest picked support and on 10.2, which take those stats with a grain of salt, because 10.2 has not been played in any major region. Those are minor region stats.
Yep.
Braum still number 1, 71% pick rate, 62% win rate, so he is very, very strong.
Yeah.
And both of these supports can pick Braum. I would like to see them go for a little bit of support pinching, maybe. Ban out Thresh and Morgana and go for Braum first pick or something like that. I'm sorry. We could also see a shift to more mage supports, which is something I really want to see, because we saw buffs in 10.2 to multiple mage supports or enchanting supports. Karma got base damage buffs. Lulu got 2 seconds of her E cooldown, which makes her way stronger, especially in the latest stage of the game. Sona got a ridiculous movement speed buff. She's even kind of viable in the mid lane right now. So
yeah, I mean, I just want to make one point while you're doing your deep dive. Don't get me wrong, I love your deep dives. It is worth saying we are commenting on these players not having played Nautilus and Leo. It's been 6 months. Pretty sure they're going to be practicing those things. If they're not scrimming Nautilus and Leo, fire the coaching staff, because my god, that would be a massive hole. But then again, we can't watch the scrims, so got to go off what we can.
I have one pick that will be exciting for you. Do you know who's the 3rd highest pick rate top laner on 10.2?
Kaiser?
No.
Oh.
Set.
Ooh. I've said this before, and I want to go on record on our stream. If Set is picked, I don't think you'll hear Yulwei that cast.
The stream will go crazy.
Because I am going to be out here like Vince McMahon, screaming wrestling quotes the entire time. Also, just before we continue, not going to read the chat once the game starts because I actually can't. But thanks for gifting 5 subs there.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. It's 1 sub and 5 emotes. Twitch is weird.
It's
whatever.
Still something we're definitely thankful about. And
yeah, thank you very much. Should be getting
going back to the game.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Another interesting thing. It's not really to blame the players because those champs didn't exist before, but ADC meta has changed drastically, and both ADCs are big on Kai'Sa, Zarya, Ezreal, all the stuff from season 9. And nowadays it's Senna, Aphelios, MF. So which ADC can adapt to the new ADC meta? We've seen a little bit of shift in priority in terms of ADC for 10.2 because Aphelios got nerfed. And he's only sitting on a 67% what's it called again? Presence rate. Yeah, presence. And Senna is by far the most picked ADC with a very bad win rate, actually, only 36% win rate. But I think Senna is far and away the strongest ADC for this patch, so that might favor EVOS, actually.
I question how well the VCS can play Senna. Senna is a champion that takes some time to ramp up. She's obviously incredibly immobile. She has horrible Baron damage. Like, really bad Baron damage, which I think is not great in the VCS. So we'll have to see. But
it's
then again,
interesting if you...
like, what mobile AD carry is good at the moment?
Yeah. Lucian. That's
it. Yeah, I don't think Lucian gets through bans. Lucian probably cops bans. But
there's a very interesting discussion around Senna. I think all the LEC talent got the opinion that Senna is ultra broken and super OP, while the LCS casters actually say they don't like Senna because she's very bad at Baron.
So what you're saying
we'll have to see.
So what you're saying is the talent in a good region is correct, and NA talent said wrong things.
I mean,
kind of like NA,
is very broken.
Kind of like NA players play wrong. Hello, TSM.
Don't want to throw them under a bus.
No, of course not. No. I'm
think
teasing.
They said Senna is OP, but they don't like her. So, to be fair to them, I personally like to play Senna as well. I think she's a very cool champion. Might be a little bit too broken right now, so that's where all the frustration comes from. But she's cool to watch, and I hope we get to see some Senna. I would really like to see her for Div Kit, to have a Parker and Swan as the primary carry, and then Senna in the backline to heal them, shield them, provide a little bit of extra CC with the Glacial Augment slow. That would be a cool setup for EVOS. So looking forward to EVOS picking Senna potentially.
Yeah, I do. I completely agree with that. I mean, Senna, as you said, is an incredibly interesting champion because he scales really hard, but it's completely different to every other AD carry. Every other AD carry in the game just starts like critting you off the planet or just killing you in 3 auto attacks. Senna, I mean, she does kill you pretty fast. But it's more, her scaling is more because she starts hitting you from 900 range, or like, obviously that's an exaggeration, but she hits you from so far away. How do you stop her?
Yeah, and her insane amounts of utility are very relevant as well, right? The heal, it's quite significant. If you can heal 2-3 players in the later game team fight, you actually get a heal of 700-800 with 1 Q.
Yeah,
if you get 2 Qs off, you suddenly jump into Soraka territory.
I think there was a game in the LCS. I'd have to check who it was. It was probably that TSM clown. Where Senna, as an AD carry, got the highest healing done ever in an LCS match. As an AD carry.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen in an ADC position, right? I've heard whispers about Senna, or rumors about Senna being played double support bot lane with 2 support items, so she gets more souls.
There was an analyst talking.
I think Jet.
Yeah, it was Jet.
Talked about that a lot. And he said you would be able to get 80 souls in lane. I think there's more solo queue, right? But
yeah, I think
could actually see that happen if you go something like Karma support. Karma with a lot of gold is very strong as well. So
I think
double
the point,
shield, double heal.
I think the point he made around that though, was that you give up too much pressure because you don't do anything
That's true,
for 20 minutes. Like,
it's
yeah,
like Sonateric
you'll
again,
have a
yeah.
stupid amount of souls and a lot of gold later on, but it's like Sonateric. You just don't do anything for 15, 20 minutes, and then you lose Drakes but can't trade them for a Rift Herald and plate money, so you're just behind. But, I mean, I think it's a strat that could work, but I don't think it's a strat
Maybe,
that
yeah.
will get played in the VCS.
It's very unlikely in the VCS. The only team I could see playing this kind of style is probably DBL, because Bigcore was the only player who played Sonateric before.
Yep.
So maybe Bigcore actually wants to try something like this. Don't really expect to see it either. Would be cool. I'm all for cool bot lane strategies. We've heard some rumors of Talia once again in the bot lane. I think there was something about 2 melee champions. I don't quite remember which two. But yeah, so far, ADC meta is very stable. We only really see a few ADCs. I think there was a little bit of Cassia presence in the bot lane as well, like the 4th or 5th highest presence ADC, so to speak.
Bot lane, yeah, bot laner.
Not likely.
I think part of the reason you see that Cassio is just because after the top 3 AD carries, again to reiterate, MF, Senna, Aphelios, not in that order, it's such a massive drop off to the next one. Like, next best is probably Varus, and Varus isn't very. They're just playing AP bot.
Yeah. I wanted to add something about this Senna, but I lost my train of thought. That's unfortunate. There seems to be a little bit of an issue on stage. They try to fix the PC for Yoshino, it seems like. So we want to jump into the first game, but this gives you a little bit more time to adjust your prediction. So if you want to go back, go ahead now.
Yep, got to get a good start if you want to get that big brain 200 IQ position in the server. Got to be able to flex on everyone else.
This is also very VCS-like. First game of the season, and we're delayed.
It's funny because I was like, we'll just go live when we see the casters. Like, we'll have time. And you said, oh no, we've got stuff to talk about. And they get into game really quickly. And I was like,
sometimes they do.
I mean, when everything goes right, you're right. I was like, yeah, okay, we'll go live a minute beforehand. And here we are. But thankfully, there's a lot to talk about. Again, it's hard to analyze champion pools and just because the information we have is so outdated. But how much do you think Flash's playstyle will change based on the fact that they now have Yoshino, who I would argue is now the best top laner in the league? Based on preseason hype. I may well be proved wrong on that.
So Flash tried to play a lot through bot lane last year, right? They had Slater as their star ADC. They played a lot of control mages in the mid lane. Sometimes tried to accelerate Optimus as well, but most of the time they try to set up Slater to carry. I think this is still a strategy they can go for. There are picks like Aatrox and Mordekaiser and Ornn, where you don't really have to pay any attention to the top lane. You could also go for counter pick for Yoshino. He's a very good Fiora player. I think Fiora is definitely the one champ he was stronger than Zeros even on. Yep. So like to see him on counter picks as well.
Really good on Irelia.
Yeah, his Irelia was very, very nice to watch as well. I think Flash could be a very side lane focused team. I don't really talk about 1-3-1ing here, so not side lane in the traditional sense of being a split push team.
1-3-1ing in the VCS, that sounds far too viable.
That's not a strategy you should go for. You should go for, but no one will. So I'm more talking about the side lanes in terms of top and bot lane. They have big carries in the top and the bot lane. I think they should use Cardi as someone to set up the either of the side of the map, either bot or top lane. So I would like to see Cardi on things like Rumble, things that can push out the wave and roam. Yep. Don't think self-sufficient champs in the mid lane like Cassiopeia should be something he should pick. I would like to see him on roaming champs. Maybe a little bit of Kiana if he's able to play that, and then try to accelerate either of the side lanes and pick not so attention. Pick something that doesn't need attention in the other side lane, and then you can be a very adaptable team. You can play through either top lane or bot lane. You have two strong carries in Yoshino and Slater, probably contesting for number 1 in the BCS in their position. that's why I am hyped for Flash, because I think they have very strong carry players.
Particularly when you bring out that stat of Slater. The VCS, again, we talked about this with Jensen on our podcast. They are really good for ADCs. We were talking about this is a world where Celebrity might be the worst ADC in the VCS. He's really not that bad. A worst ADC in the league that doesn't play for it. I have no faith in anything.
Vit has some hype behind him, so
I don't have the faith. I mean, we could potentially see a little bit of the Gum playstyle from last split, where we see, for example, that Rumble pick in the mid lane for Parquet, get Yi Jin on, his Gragas, J4, that kind of thing that he has played before. J4 is very strong at the moment. Maybe not top tier, but definitely close. Just play around.
Highest presence jungler, by the way, on this patch. 96% presence.
Geez, wow, that's a lot. And just play around Yoshino like they did Zeros last split. I think that's completely viable. If you get Yoshino ahead, particularly if he's on something like the Fiora, he will hard carry games.
Yeah, his Fiora was legendary, not only in game but also just. There were some legends about his play, definitely. I think he went something like 8-1 in the first ever Fiora game when we didn't know who he was, and then we were instantly on the hype train because Yoshino is just a very, very versatile player as well. He can play some tank champs as well. A little bit better than Zeros even, in my opinion. Zeros the stronger laner compared to Yoshino. Probably a little bit better in terms of mechanics. Champion pool maybe in favor of Zeros as well, but Yoshino seems to have a little bit more of the team game sense, if we want to call it that. So, yeah.
Yeah, Zeros definitely had, because he's not the killer, like just so much of a killer instinct. He was like a great right shark. He sniffed like the tiniest drop of blood and he's just gone. Yoshino, he has a bit of that. He's definitely not a passive player in lane, but he is much more, thinks a little bit more and goes, there might be a jungler here. The thing without Zeros is there's no jungler there because Levi's there. And if the jungler comes, he might 1v2. So he got away with it, but considering that I do agree, Yoshino, I mean, if you play the 1v1s, I always use this analogy. If you play Zeros versus Yoshino in a 1v1 100 times, Zeros probably wins 70. Not to say Yoshino's bad. He's really, really good.
Zeros was very far ahead of all the other top laners, and Yoshino was the second best top laner without even seeing a lot of play. So, yeah. I'm quite excited to see the matchup between Yoshino and Hero, because I personally like Hero as a player as well. He's a little bit too inconsistent to be considered a very good top laner, but the highs he has shown are very high. He's a very young player, still 17, and I'm excited what this year can bring for Hero. If he can ascend to the level of Yoshino and Kiaya maybe, suddenly EVOS is a big threat for playoffs. If Sorn and Parker works out in the mid-jungle, they have a Hero as a consistent carry in the top lane. Suddenly this team has a very, very strong top side of the map, maybe even stronger than Flash, depending on the Hero's performance. So yeah, EVOS quite an exciting team to watch as well.
Yeah, EVOS is definitely one of those teams that are a bit of a dark horse here in this split. I think most people have them coming in the 4th to 6th range, which I think is very fair. But, if they come out swinging, and as you said, if Hero gets, replaces that I with an E and goes nuts this split, they can challenge for challenge for 3rd and maybe even 2nd. That'd be a big push, but it could definitely happen.
Yeah, and one thing Jensen talked about in our podcast was the potential collapse of Loki. If Loki is to collapse, and maybe Cerberus can't quite live up to the hype Jensen put on them, maybe EVOS can be our 3rd place team and even challenge for higher positions, as you just said. So quite an exciting first game. We have 2 upper echelon teams. This is not a top team against a bottom tier team. This should be quite competitive. I still believe it will be 2-0 for Flash, because I think EVOS will need a little bit more time to integrate Hero, to see what Parker can do in the mid lane with Zorn, get back on the synergy. Adding onto that, Zorn doesn't really have the best jungle meta for himself right now. He's the farming jungler. He likes to play Nidalee. Graves, second most played champion in his professional career is actually Graves. That is ridiculous. Graves
that's
almost never meta.
That is not getting played at the moment. Graves is unplayable on 10 points.
Not the greatest meta for Zorn. If the meta shifts more towards a jungle-focused carry style, I think EVOS can be quite dangerous. I think they have the potentially second best jungler in the carry meta, behind Levi, with Zorn being a very strong carry player. So right now, probably not the greatest matchup for EVOS because of the jungle changes, but I think later on in the season, especially if the 10.3 changes go through, they can be a very dangerous team.
Yeah, it's also worth, just on the topic of the jungle, it's also worth noting this is the last hurrah of Jungle Kiana. Jungle Kiana is...
No. Oh? She's already dead.
Is that live?
Yeah, that is 10.2. 10.2
I thought that was 10.3.
Nope.
Oh,
I checked the notes again. The attack speed nerfs are live. If we play on 10.2, which we should.
If we don't, I'm really going to flame the VN decision makers, because it's been out for weeks.
Yeah, 10.2 is the patch we'll play on LEC tonight as well.
Yeah.
And LCS tomorrow will change to 10.2. So I really expect us to see 10.2 as well, which means we are actually the highest level league to play 10.2 right now. So that's another exciting thing to talk about.
Should be watching the VCS for sure. I mean, I wish we had some VCS to actually show you. Up to you, Yulwei. Do you have enough analysis, or would you like to go to a little bit of a break screen? Because unfortunately, we have been hit by the VN production curse, and there's something wrong with it.
Sadly, we don't really know how long it will take the guys on the stage. It doesn't look like anything is wrong, so...
They must be swapping
let's head into... Yeah, probably. I think Yoshino had a little bit of PC problem. We'll head to hopefully short break and be back for you guys. Thank you all for coming and joining us today. Sorry for the delay. It's VN production. It's quite famous. So...
I will...
Oh, no, never mind. Never mind.
Are we going? Oh, perfect, boys. No worries at all. Let me switch over to that one. Sorry, just getting used to doing the production. Here we go, straight into Champ Select. Hopefully all is well on the stream. I'm sure people
lost our faith, and then they actually recovered all of it. Look at the very, very cool and clean graphic. VN production in terms of graphics definitely upgraded from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking pretty good. Coming in thick and fast, bans Senna and Lucian removed. That's no surprise, but that second ban is a little bit of a strange one. Morgana gone in the first ban phase. Not sure how I understand that one.
Second most played champ all time for B. A very good Morgana player. Might open up something like the Nautilus. Morgana actually not too great into Leona, so if they want to pick Leona here, they made a little bit of a mistake by banning the Morgana. Other things, Morgana is very good against Thresh, potentially, so maybe we will see Thresh for CBL, his most played champ all time. Could actually see this, but yeah, as you say, very unusual ban. Other than that, very common bans all around.
Rek'Sai and Akali. Very normal people, and we are on 10.1. Bit tilting.
Well, that indeed is a little bit tilting.
But, oh well. We could see Jungle Kiana then. But there is the Leona first pick. Again, it was only the promotion tournament. It was a bit of a different meta. But we did see a lot of emphasis on Leona. It seems the Vietnamese scene really loves this champion, and she's really strong, so why not? But I'm loving the counter pick. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
EVOS's first rotation is super good. This is something I wanted to see in LEC and LCS more. Just pick MF with Braum. It not only takes away the counter from MF, which they didn't really have to think about because the enemy's first pick support, obviously, but it's still very good to set up the MF. She can follow up with her W quite quickly on the concussive blows, I think is the name of the passive.
Yep.
And now you're set up to pick on in the next rotation, which I really would like to see. And then you have a super strong teamfight composition already.
That's a Slater comfort pick right there. Going back to that Kai'Sa,
I want to change my prediction. I want to change my prediction. Oh no.
Ooh, going back to that Kai'Sa, that he is really good on the pick, but she's just not particularly strong in this meta. And I don't feel like you need to pick Renekton here either. Ooh, Flash,
this isn't... Aphelios open, and we're on 10.1, so Aphelios is still in this very OP state. Don't quite like this.
I don't know how I'm feeling about this one, Flash. I mean, don't get me wrong, putting Yoshino on a carry champion, at least in the early game, is very strong, but there's a lot of very, very strong top laners. And I mean, EVOS, Coach Violet, absolutely killing it out here right now. Look at this draft.
I really want to see an On ban now from Surge, because I think On is the perfect champ for EVOS, not only because they have the Braum already. On is one of the few champs that can actually survive the Renekton early dives, because he can go with Spellbook, go with Ignite, and then it's too risky to dive the On. On the other side, I would like EVOS to ban out the Elise, to deny a little bit of that synergy in the top side. I don't quite agree with the Elise and ban. Comfort for Yijin, obviously, but yeah, take away the Elise, please, in the next ban phase. Taliyah, actually. Interesting.
Yeah, the Taliyah's very interesting to be removed there. Perhaps just trying to prevent easy damage mixing. Maybe they have a read that Kati wants to play an AD laner, perhaps. Orianna's going to be the ban in response. Not bad against Parquet. He does like that champion. And it's not bad in this team comp at all.
Yeah, I still don't quite like the mid lane focus. I think the Ornn bench should have been the one to go to. Hopefully, EVOS will actually pick up the Ornn here, which would give them insane amounts of teamfight.
Yeah, I think
damage, not only damage setup.
Yeah, I think Ornn is a fantastic pick here. They have a really strong team comp. I like the Rise pick, just as that late game safety net, if it goes there. That's actually how a lot of teams are picking at the moment, sort of three or four early to mid game threats, and then you just have your late game insurance policy. In this case, a Rise. Okay. That could be a Renekton mid.
Yeah, wanted to say the same. This is a very good Yoshino champ. We could also see Kati swap into the top lane with Renekton, and then Yoshino going mid lane with Aurelia. He has played mid lane before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Okay.
Hey.
Flash, are you sure you're playing on this patch?
Flash, did you
on?
Practice in the off season?
This looks like a 2019 draft, like from start to finish.
Yeah, this isn't fantastic at all. Could be the Mordekaiser answering. I like that.
Another very good weak side top laner into the Renekton. This is very surprising from Team Flash. Not the greatest of drafts.
Very
AD focused as well. So run into some damage profile problems, which is why I would have liked to see the Ornn even more. Full tank, go full armor. With 2 items, you can go to up to 240, 250 armor, and no one can damage you. So, Mordekaiser is fine. Would have liked to see the Ornn still.
Yeah. As you said, I think the best pick for TH was definitely the Ornn, but Mordekaiser, I think that's the best pick in every scenario. And it does look like it's going to be Yoshino. Look, we can't have him in the first game. I need to warm up, get back in the flow of casting before I can handle a set game.
That's fair.
And it is Yoshino on this Renekton. He played the champion and he looked good on it. I just think he looked better on Aurelia. But again, this draft is... Flash, this is really outdated.
They're trusting... It's outdated, and they're also entrusting a lot of... a lot of responsibility to Kati with the carry champ. Aurelia plays just okay in lane. She will not be able to do anything in this game. He needs to look for solo kills. He needs to posture very aggressively, look to punish Parker for any mistake he does. So they actually trust into Kati, or they want to give Kati his breakout game on Flash and give all the resources to him, which can be something that succeeds for most teams. We know that Cloud9, for example, does this all the time. Whenever a new player comes in, they put all the resources in the new player. So maybe that's the strategy Flash wants to go with here as well.
Yeah, potentially. There are definitely there are definitely ways for this Flash draft to work, but just I feel like you could have ended up with such a better draft. It's not like EVOS drafted them into a corner. Both of these teams could have walked out of this with a really based on how it went. And Flash just made unforced picks where they were looking at a tier list from 6 months ago. We were saying when we were doing our analysis that, it's really hard to read in too much to what they did last split because it was so long ago. Yeah, with Flash, maybe we could have.
Yep, apparently. So post-draft prediction definitely going to EVOS. I want to change my prediction. I think EVOS should win this game. If Flash is able to win this one, they are quite a bit better than EVOS. Their draft does not look too promising. Yoshino has to run over the Renekton in the top lane. Karti needs, I'd say, at least one solo kill in the mid lane to make this earlier work. And then Slater on Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is pretty weak compared to the other ADCs, especially in the early game. So MF should have very easy time to dominate lane. DivKid on a little bit of a trial by fire here. He needs to dominate lane to be known as one of the better ADCs in VCS, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we get onto the Rift soon. Hopefully we haven't got round 2 of technical errors. That would be the most VCS thing to start us off. But I'm not seeing any very panicked technicians. So it might just be that they had to restart the lobby or something, as does happen.
So do you think this is a little bit of stubbornness on Flash side, where maybe Karti, even coming from the promotion tournament, played Super Guy Destroys, great team name by the way. He came in and told Flash all the priorities from the tournament that happened a few months ago. Now they didn't change anything, because I'm still very confused by their draft. I think the draft is...
I mean, I always put more blame for drafts on the coach. Coach should just be telling the pick. And I mean, if a coach isn't watching the major regions that are already playing, that's pretty unforgivable, right?
And there's actually a lot of tape already out, right? We have our LPL playing 7 days a week. We saw 7 days of LPL action. We saw LEC 10 games, LCS 10 games, Casper Cup, Demacia Cup. So
yeah, I mean, the fact that this is an even more outdated draft than Casper Cup and the Demacia Cup, those were months ago at this point. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd be happy to be just proven wrong. Maybe VCS truly are ahead of the curve, as they always are. Did you see those drafts at World? Absolutely huge brand. Maybe Flash comes out and impresses. Hopefully, we can see them do anything.
I mean, there's a lot of potential for a very explosive game on their side, even though we are mocking, telling everyone it's very outdated, which it is. Yeah. It's still very explosive, right? We have a very strong solo laners that can look for opportunities and look for solo kills. We have a bot lane that has a lot of engage options, especially level 6. So I'd like to see them play around bot lane, maybe with a teleport, coming in from the solo laners, go for top bot lane dives at level 6. They could snowball this game out of control, and then we look like fools blaming the draft. But it's just not a very consistent way of playing.
I mean, if they win with this draft, that is an absolute statement. And I mean, Yoshino could theoretically, if you set him up to smash TH, maybe they just dominate through the side lane. Yoshino just plays a 1-4, which we have seen Yoshino do. It's rare in the VCS, but we have seen Yoshino play 1-4 quite happily. So
yeah, I agree with your assessment of draft, though, that I would have liked to see earlier. I think I also agree with you that he's one of the few very good split pushers in the VCS. But Renekton split push, Renekton can side lane, but can he split push? I like to differentiate the two. Renekton not really known for his incredible split push pressure. Can win the side lane and maybe take down a turret or two, but he can't really push through inhibitor turrets like Camille can do, like Aurelia can pressure. So yeah, I'm not too happy with this allocation of champions to the players. I would have liked to see Aurelia on the top lane or Yoshino in the mid lane with the Aurelia. But maybe Kati actually turns out to be Yoshino 2.0 from the mid lane position. So
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, again, I kind of want to touch on the Kai'Sa pick, because that seems really bad, but it's such a comfort pick for Slater. I hope he's not just leaning on that, because it's not a good champion at the moment.
Yeah. She's like tier 3 of ADCs, maybe C+.
Yeah, about
if you're very generous. 31 games on Kai'Sa. He's very, very comfortable on this champ, but it's a little bit of a worrying sign that he's not going for the Aphelios on 10.1.
Yeah,
we're in game.
Oh, we're in. Here we go. Apparently, the stream quality is terrible. Sorry, I'm just going to quickly restart that one. Sorry about that, everyone. Taking 2 seconds. But here we are. We're finally in. Anything worth commenting on in the runes? It's all looking pretty standard. Nothing really happening level 1 either. How do we think this early game is going to go? Where should the junglers be putting their focus?
So we have 2 pretty defensive lanes on the side of EVOS and the solo lane setup, and very aggressive bot lane. On the other side, 2 strong melee solo laners that can punish the enemy with Yoshino and Kati on flash side. So I'd like to see Heejin path towards the top side, play around the top lane solo lane champs, and let Slater just farm on the bot lane. Slater and CBL should be fine. Into Braum. Braum can't really go for all ins. He can go for all ins, but not for kills in the lane. So definitely topside focus for Flash is what I would like to see. And then Sorn, maybe just spot the enemy jungler. Don't really go for too many ganks early on and try to protect your lanes so that TH as well as Parquet can get to level 6 safely.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, on the side of Flash, we need to see early visits up to this top lane, but then it's a Sejuani pick.
Very surprising, by the way.
Yeah.
The Sejuani pick also throws me off so much.
Yeah,
it's also his most played champ, so maybe it's just full comfort here. Most played champ for Slater, most played champ for Yijin. Very much champ Yoshino likes to play as well. By the way, I wanted to ask you, as the Mordekaiser expert,
all right,
how does this matchup go for? I can't imagine it's too great for Mordekaiser.
No,
right?
it's not great. I have rebranded as Mordekaiser. From a Mordekaiser expert to a Set one trick, to the point where I renamed my account to have Set in the name. It's all I've been playing. It's not great. Any super aggressive top laner who wants jungle attention. Ooh, wow, early going up there. Wow. Very good trade. I mean, you don't really want to trade into Mordekaiser. He procs that Conqueror so quickly. So
sustain should be fine for Yoshino though. He has his Q, right? So should be able to sustain back up, but already not the greatest of signs. He is pushed on the wave, so now with Yijin covering for him in the top side, they might look for a dive here. Sadly, TH, formerly known as Hero, no idea why he renamed.
It's not a good rename.
not a great name.
Super low elo.
He still has Flash and is almost full HP, but here we go.
Here comes Sorn. The flash forward there from B immediately. Look at all these flashes. There's the flag and drag. Smallest one we've ever seen. Slater goes down. First blood. And they're in the top lane. Oh my god. TH trying to get out. Yijin's going to take another tower shot. He goes down. Yoshino has to flash. Oh no. We're 2 seconds into the first... We're 2 seconds into the first game of the VCS, and it's the most VCS thing we've ever seen.
Yeah, indeed it is. We had to wait quite a long time with the stage issues, but here we are. This is action on every lane at the same time. Very nicely done from EVOS in the bot lane. I like the engage. Sorn set up his EQ. He went over the wall with EQ and then waited for the cooldown to return. I liked his flash W, but hold the thought.
And here he goes in. CBL just going in by himself. The concussive blows are going to proc. Slater was coming back, but it was a little bit early. CBL did not need to lose that health. My stream did just freeze for a moment, so we might rethink.
Bit of a little bit more than you can chew there. But in the end, still safe.
Yeah, and we might just have to do our first resync of the season. So
nice.
Can you pause at 4:37? Make it 4:40.
Not anymore. Yeah, 4:40.
All right, go ahead. Sorry about that, everyone. Welcome to Bootleg Casting. That is just
across the globe. Casting offers a little bit of difficulties here and there.
Yeah, as you can tell by our accents, we're not close to each other. And as we look down the lanes, this Aurelia is going fairly well early on. Bit of a brawl here from the junglers. Yijin's been caught out, but does get safely over the wall. Thorn not predicting that charge. I don't think he wanted to go over the wall. Up in the top lane, Yoshino having a pretty bad time here. Don't think you want to be dashing back into the Mordekaiser passive. You are not winning that trade with a Mordekaiser with Conqueror proc. Hero looking really good.
Yeah, but if you look at the CS department, actually not that great. Because they're still a full wave for Yoshino, so he'll go to 45 CS. Probably, as we see the first replay of the season, top lane dive, a little bit.
Good flash.
Oh, Yoshino got minion blocked a little bit there. That's very unfortunate. He could have gotten out there. I think the minion block prevented him from doing one step in the correct direction. So when he flashed, he already was in turret aggro for a little bit longer. So unfortunate situation there for Yijin.
Well, Yoshino going forward here does land the stun. Hero pushes him away a little bit early there from Yoshino.
And now he's level 6, so now
yep, no ganking anymore.
Needs to back off.
Yeah.
CBL, please use your stacks. Thank you.
There we go. Oh, but here he goes in. But B was close enough to reinforce. This is not a good trade at all. This Leona taking so much damage and will go down. Out of nowhere, CBL just completely underestimated. Thorn is here, Slater. You are in trouble. You're going to have to channel all that Kaiser energy. Was it worth picking this champion for you? The tiny little knock up again, and down he goes. DivKid has 3 kills. The TP is coming in. I don't know if you want this fight. This is still a 3v2. The ult out of Renekton. DivKid has to do so much damage here. Braum is going to get chunked down, but down goes Yoshino. They're fighting onto this B. It doesn't make sense. Yijin taking so much damage. Flash. You've just flashed your game away. CBL, we're going to come in. Keep it going, boys. And this... he actually might.
Did we really forget about Flash Game 1?
Yeah, we should have forgotten. We did. We forgot about Flash Game 1.
The infamous Game 1 for Flash, where they in every lane.
Yeah, they've
5-0. DivKid is 5-0.
This game is over. Thanks, guys, for tuning into this first game. We are just going to have a break here. I'm going to go grab something to eat because this is a 1,600 gold lead in the bot lane for the ADCs.
Man,
that was
so many bad decisions
awful.
There. Unbelievable. And you always like to emphasize the very bad matchup that is Leona into Braum, and we saw it there in action. Leona tried to engage, and Braum just stood there, applied his passive, easy kill for the side of DivKid. Zorn already there as well, setting up the next gang. I really like Zorn's micro execution. By the way, if you're an aspiring J4 player, look at Zorn again this game. He always initiates with the very easy to land slow. So he initiates with his smite, follows up with his W to slow down the enemy, and then short range EQ. Enemy can't dodge that. It's a very safe way to apply the CC. Look at this again. CBL level 4. He thought B was farther away, so super unfortunate. B can just tank the turret forever.
CBL's going way too aggressive this game.
Way too aggressive. And it's his first, maybe not entirely his first, but one of the first Leona games he's ever played. Need to check the stats again. He has not played Leona a lot. So maybe a little bit of Leona unfamiliarity with matchups. He should have not engaged there.
Yeah, Flash potentially getting a little bit lucky here, though, that they are going to be able to trade Rift Herald for this Cloud Drake. And honestly, I think you're pretty happy with that trade. Cloud Drake, as a Drake on its own, does very, very little. So being able to trade that for the guaranteed plate gold is really fantastic. Look at this bot lane. What do you do? How can you even step up if you're Slater? He's having to use that W to scout for Zorn. This is...
Yeah, I really like Zorn's focus on the bot lane.
Yep.
We talked about Yijin having to focus around top side. And we didn't really talk about Zorn, but obviously, if one jungler should focus about top side, the other probably should focus around bot side, which he did from start this game, and very successfully so. 4 assists already at 9 minutes. 2 big dives in the bot lane as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really something. And I'm going to say, those of you who watched last split know that I'm quite opinionated on Kai'Sa builds, but things have changed. Last split, I got very angry when I saw Storm Races, and very happy when I saw Mana Moons. But Slater, you're building a Mana Moon, which is worse now, for the record. You're down 2 kills, you've died twice, and your enemy laner is 5-0, and you've just picked up a tier.
It's 10.1, so it's not even the Stormraiser nerf yet.
Nope.
So
this needed to be a
just imagine
Stormraiser.
playing this bot lane right now. The enemy ADC has 2 Doran's Blades and a fully finished Essence Reaver, and then your ADC comes into lane with a tier. Nice.
Yeah, this is unplayable. CBL just need to say, peace Slater, I'm gone. See you, man. I'm not coming to your lane anymore. I'm absolutely gone. I'm going to steal a joke that I've just seen. We all know Slater has gone tier because he's crying.
Probably is.
But yeah, this is really bad for Flash. They're 2k gold down. Let's try and find some positive. Yoshino is crushing the top lane.
Cardi as well. Look at Cardi's CS. Mid lane has been absolutely non-interactive. No one has roamed or attempted anything. So it's very good to see Cardi actually being up in CS here. The pure 1v1 matchup, not even a whole lot of jungle interaction. So good first game for Cardi. But he's the dog in the burning, what is it?
Realm War in the little restaurant. Yeah. And big fight here in the team lane. Parquet just ulted straight in, took a lot of damage there. They're having to use ults to disengage now. In the end, EVOS trading a few ults for a free kill on the Rift Herald, but it still got the charge off, so I'm not sure there needed to be a team fight there. But in the end, just mid lane.
No one died.
Yep.
A little bit of time board for Slater to catch up in CS, a little bit. So nice for Flash. Overall, a nice sequence of play for Flash. They used Cardi's pressure in the mid lane to apply a lot of turret damage. They got, I think, 3 plates out of this play. So, I mean, it's only 360 gold. Yeah. This will not get them back into the game, but at least a little bit of gold.
And I'm loving that they're continuing to pressure the bot lane. You want to talk about all the plates Shelly got? How about all the plates DivKid is getting? The real objective. Yep. Already got 3. Sorn is hovering around to make sure Yijin
top of his 5 kills.
Do anything. Yeah, on top of the 5 kills, of course. But I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Yoshino at least. Our boy is living up to some of the hype. Ooh, YouTube stuttering there a little bit. Sorry, everyone. Doing our best, but how do we get? Oh yeah, very well done. There's CBL going forward. You can't go forward against this. I think he was just doing it to protect Slater, but my God, they could threaten a 2v2 dive. I don't think they do because you don't need to.
Yeah, they could have probably dived there, but I'm a little bit surprised DivKid didn't just throw his ult out to pressure Slater off the turret and get the first turret here. Can probably do that still. So.
And they're going in again. There's the Leona ult coming down. A lot of damage actually going on to B, but CBL is not going to get out. So why are you not bullet timing? Actually, I don't think he had mana. Did he afford it?
I think so.
I think he could have. That's got to be the only reason, though.
Flashed away from the no damage ADC on the other team.
DivKid, got to use your lead a little bit better here. I think they definitely could have killed CBL there. The only reason to not ult there would have been mana. The only reason I mentioned mana is because surely that's the only reason. Instantly bullet time. All the CC is gone. Just rip it out.
Looked like a good opportunity for sure. Yeah. B had turret aggro, so maybe B's call was to disengage there. But still a little bit ill-advised. And they don't get the first turret. This was a big chance to collect the last plate. So they'll probably only lose 120 gold because you still get the extra gold from the first turret, obviously. But they will not be in time before plates fall. It's only 10 seconds to 14 minutes. So, yeah, a little bit unfortunate here. A little bit of a misplay from DivKid. B not looking too great either. He got way too much turret aggro.
He did. I mean, he's looking pretty good with 5 assists. Really kind of looking like Braum in Legends of Runeterra out here, completely busted. And that is another Drake being picked up. A little bit more stats again. Ooh, Ocean Rift. Here we go. I know this is your favorite.
Yeah, this is broken. Very, very broken.
I mean, this is really good for EVOS as well. They've got such a strong lead. How does Flash stop them getting Ocean Soul? And Ocean Soul just wins the game.
Yeah. Ocean Soul is the only soul that actually wins the game.
Yeah.
Infernal Soul is strong, but you can win against Infernal Soul, especially if you play teamfights correctly. You can't really win against Ocean Soul. It's too much regeneration, too strong in teamfights. Yeah, I think Ocean Soul is the only soul that's really worthy of being called a soul. So yeah, very lucky first game for EVOS, and they have a very strong bot lane advantage, so perfect position.
Oh, Yijin just throwing himself in here. They're going straight into the Parquet, doing actually a lot of damage. He's going in Sorn, using the ult. The Rage Cage is down, but he gets out. They've put everyone in the cage. Oh, but there's the Sejuani ult to catch him. Good flash. Do they have the damage? Well done, Cardi, landing that stun there. This should be Sorn going down. Oh, no! The stopwatch. I don't know if they can stick around. Yoshino might have got himself in a really bad situation there. Really good knock-up. Should be able to get the return kill. CBL, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You just eat. Ah!
The in from CBL actually made the whole play bad for Flash. We saw a little bit of mechanical mistakes there from Yijin. He stacked his CC. Very unfortunate. He E and immediately ulted. Should not do that. Either E and then ult when the E wears off, or don't E at all and just use ult. He stacked both CCs on top of each other, which was why Son was able to get away. A little bit of a mistake there with Son after using his stopwatch. He could have gotten out, but stepped forward a little bit too much, wanted to secure the kill on Yoshino. Didn't have to do that. To be fair, Yoshino still had his flash available, so there was an opportunity for Yoshino to still flash after him and get him anyway. So that's probably what Yijin was thinking about as well. Not Yijin. Son.
Yeah, this start of the fight is looking really good there. Kati playing it really well on top of it, which is a good sign for Flash in the middle of a very...
E-ult. No, don't do
bad.
That.
Not good at all. Really bad CC layering. And they're so sure they've got this there, but the stopwatch was lovely. Thorn played this so well.
Keep your eyes on Thorn. Yeah, Thorn re-engages here. Very good Q from Yoshino. So you use
What is CBL doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Not the greatest of Leona games. CBL known for his peel support, and Leona is not. So we see that he's not completely learned the ways of Leona. Very unfortunate first game of the season.
Yeah, this is looking very bad for Flash. But I do want to comment on some bright lights. Yoshino looked strong in the top lane, which we expected. But, you know, at least we get that as confirmed. And Cardi, I should say. Carti, not Parquet. That's the wrong team. Cardi looks good. He's actually playing pretty well on this round. He's so far behind, he can't do anything. But he's got a CS lead.
Flawless duet there as well. Very nice. Hit the CC on Sorn, almost secured the kill. So EVOS was able to secure Shirley, the second Rift Hold. If you're not familiar with the terminology, first Rift Hold is Shelly, second Rift Hold Shirley.
And another fight. This is actually a catch here. CBL going down again, truly maximizing the use of all of his defensive stats. Making sure that he reduces damage all the way down to 0 health. Truly peak Leona play. As the mid lane will get cracked open here. DivKid is 7.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing for EVOS to get the pick.
DivKid has gone reverse James Bond. He's not 007. He's 700.
700. Yeah. What a way to start the season, right? DivKid, not on a lot of people's radars. A lot of people talk about the Big Koro, maybe Slater, a little bit about Police, the new ADC for Gum, but no one really talked about DivKid.
Yep.
Now, first game of the season, 7-0.
And look at EVOS just brute forcing their way forward. Slater's gone to the realm of death. That is a kill there for Hero. The bullet time doing so much damage. CBL once again in the middle of the enemy team on his own. I mean, look, we use this phrase quite a lot, but what they've done is they've got a big old duffel bag full of money. Fun fact, and we've got time to talk about this. You know, in like bank heist movies, they always carry the big duffel bags full of cash. They would actually weigh about 150 kilos. And what EVOS has done is they've actually just cracked Flash across the head with about 4 of those. So they're bleeding on the ground, and you can see their brain a little bit. So it's not great. They're not going to be able to finish the game here. It is only 19 minutes.
If the Mordekaiser can just ult your ADC and one-shot him, then the game is probably over. And that's exactly what... even with the troll build, he's still able to easily kill Slater.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to hope this is just Flash Game 1 debuff. Maybe because it's not only Game 1 of a series, it's Game 1 of a split. Terrible smite this. Don't need to smite early.
Double debuff, you mean? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it's the double debuff. So maybe they'll come back and win 2-1. It's possible. But based on this draft and CBL just looking like a bit of a lost duck.
Look at Slater here. Look at Slater. It's so sad.
This is Slater. But he even healed. Like he used both of his summoners.
He ulted to get the shield, but he just couldn't do anything against Hero. I refuse to call him TH. Sorry.
Yeah, TH is a terrible name. He's always Hero for me. The Realm Warp forward, very good by Parquet. Get some minions under the tower. Make sure you get that inhib. How does Flash win? I don't think Yoshino is strong enough. I don't think Kati is possibly strong.
A reasonable team composition in the next game. They won't win this game. It's impossible.
True, but we do still potentially have to talk about 10 minutes of this game. So, someone.
Yeah, but we talked in Champion Select about this team composition having to go off to a head start, having to snowball early game. Now they're 5k gold down, inhibitor down, 3 dragons, 1 dragon away from the Ocean Soul. So, no. Yeah, there's just no way.
This is definitely got 4.
Look at ADC itemization. Just
this is absolutely atrocious. This is probably one of the worst games we've seen. Just from an individual team. And we've seen some real teams collapse, and this is, oh boy, there is some structural issues here. They're just going to walk to Baron. They're just going to Realm Warp. Yeah, why even bother using our legs? Get there a little bit faster. And what can Flash do to stop this? They can't walk up. They have a ward. They know it's happening, but what can EVOS?
I think they could have just
EVOS just wants to fight. EVOS just takes the fight. CBL did not need to go to the Death Realm. For him, Summoner's Rift has been the Death Realm.
140 gold for the kill.
Oh no. Yoshino actually a bit clever there. Went and cleared the wave. So it's a little bit safer. Maybe they don't
Someone needs to respond to bot lane though.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Baron's
now
gone.
with the bot lane pressure, this should just be Baron dance for EVOS. They don't really have to finish the Baron here. Just pull off the Baron, on the Baron, off the Baron, and wait for the super minions to do the work. Right now, they can probably just finish this one. Not too happy with Hero's usage of the ultimate. He should have just used ult on Yijin, who tries his best. Valiant effort to get the steal, but nope.
Yep. Cardi actually in the pit here doing his absolute best, but there's just way too much CC. Can't pop off on the RL. Went for the last ditch effort.
Into a wall, unluckily.
Yeah.
He flashed into the wall there. Tried to get the shutdown on Div Kid.
I mean,
not quite.
He's got to go for the last ditch play. But what are you losing by making that play? Oh no, you're going to lose even harder. At this point, I mean, this is one of those times where just surrender. Don't keep playing this. You're going to get tilted.
Honestly, yeah.
You're going to get tilted.
Do anything for you, yeah. Just don't think about this game anymore. There's no need to do anything in this game anymore. You can't win this one. First kill for Slater. No.
CBL gets the kill. Never mind. Slater still in that death realm. Hero counting him down. Oh, there he goes. Just use... bullet time is being used there. Yijin taking so much damage. Didn't exactly look like a tank. Sejuani looking like a squishy jungler. Realm Warp forward just to finish this one. CBL will flash away. There is a kill. Flash. They're getting things back together. Holding for now.
That was a little bit of a QG Memorial Realm Warp in the wrong direction and to the wrong objective. Shout out to Seal and Genza.
Sorry, the YouTube stream just seems to be suffering a little bit on my end.
Yeah,
so
no, it's on my
it's
end
on
as
your
well. I
end.
think it's
Okay, so that is the
yeah.
source. Sorry about that, everyone. We can
Seems to
only
be.
we can only do as well as VCS stream does. But we do apologize regardless. Stick it out with us anyway. Thanks for
Look at
tuning
this
in, by the way.
Mordekaiser build.
I mean,
I don't want to split hairs because he's winning anyway, but this Mordekaiser build is disgustingly bad.
I mean, I think at this point he just graded, right? He was going Nash's first item before the game ended. And now he's just going proto belt so he can ult Slater and just you know walk
He
at
has 4
him and
finished
just
items, and none of the not a single one of those is Leandri's.
yeah.
That is
I mean,
weird.
it doesn't matter. And this will be
No,
the
it
Ocean
really doesn't
Soul.
matter.
Here we go. The last leg of Exodia. Their grandfather's deck has no pathetic cards, Kyber. They've assembled all 5 pieces of the puzzle. It will only be a matter of time until this game ends. They're just walking down bot lane. They just want to end it. Just get out of
So
here.
if you don't know about the strength of Ocean Soul, just keep your eyes on some of the tanky champions on EVO's side in this team fight, and look how much they're going to heal. It's especially visible probably with Thorn and maybe B as well.
Yeah.
So whenever the fight breaks out, this tanky champs, especially if you have Stopwatch, I think Ocean Soul and Stopwatch is not okay. Really, it gives you back like 500 HP or something. It's ridiculous. It's almost a GA for free.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh no, Slater gets hit by the E. There's why he went this build. Look at the one shot. He's just chilling under tower there. The bullet time not hitting much of anything, but it's not going to matter. In he goes. Look at that health regen. Goes up to a quarter health from sitting in a stopwatch, and Flash, they get taken down. The Nexus will be exposed. There it is. And what a ridiculous performance from EVOS.
What a stomp, and what a statement game for DivKid as well as Hero. Hero had a great game, even though he clicked on items, didn't matter, and his team fighting was very good, very good focus. One little mistake, I think, at the Baron, which didn't do anything. I think you should hold on ult and wait for the enemy jungler to secure the Baron for your team. But what does it matter? They got the game anyway. First game, stomp for EVOS. I really did not anticipate.
Is it just Flash Curse, or is it a little bit more serious?
Surge needs to wake up for the next game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Surge, the coach for Flash, if you were not able to see that. So yeah, the draft from Flash was disgustingly bad.
Is there much to talk about after that game? Is there much to analyze? Ooh, set on screen. No, you can't see it on stream, but ooh.
Just reset your mentality completely. Don't think about this first game. It's just first game jitters. Maybe draft was not great, so just please reset your mentality and don't think about this game too much more. Kati can be happy with his play. Look for the positives. They had strong laning in top and mid lane, so draft a better team composition, please.
Yeah, please do. But there's so little to say about that game. I think we are just going to go to a break.
We need to award our MVP.
Oh, that's true. Is there a question? Actually, it's probably CBL. He was most valuable player for EVOS.
That is very true. I liked Sorn's ganks as well.
I did too, but you can't ignore. There is
double-digit kills.
There is a point in time where you have to look at score.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, DivKid definitely getting our MVP. If he doesn't get the mainstream's MVP, shocker.
No, he'll definitely get the mainstream.
Yeah, they
MVP.
love going with that.
They love ADCs.
But yeah, it's about a 10-minute break here. Hopefully that gives Flash a chance to reset. But we'll be back then. Hopefully we'll sort just a few techs up. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Love to have you here. And we'll be back for Game 2 of EVOS versus Flash.
See you soon. You can go for Varus if Slater is not confident with in any of his abilities. On the new champs, just go with Varus. He's still quite strong.
Still, not being able to play any of the new champs is pretty bad, and I actually don't think that MF ban is completely warranted. It wasn't because of the champion that DivKid did what he did. It was because of the play. I'd be looking at banning the Jarvan. Thorn looked so good.
Yeah,
surely you want to push him somewhere else.
I'm really interested in the first pick for EVOS. So Flash started with the Leona first pick, which was very, very present. Promotion tournament in VCS. Every team picked Leona first. I don't believe EVOS will go for first pick Leona. Let's see. I like the Braum play from B. He got a lot of praise from our viewers as well. Rightfully so. B had a great performance. And not quite sure what's going on.
The graphic a little bit broken for you? Rek'Sai is the last ban, and Akali's up. It's 10.1.
Oh, wait, what?
It's 10.1 and they banned Rek'Sai over Akali.
Well, Flash really wants to do this today.
Flash, what are you doing? This is really bad. And they're first picking Ryze. You're trading Akali on 10.1 for Ryze.
So, look at the ADC pool. Lucian, Senna, and MF removed. There's only one tier 1 ADC remaining. They have to pick Aphelios here. If they don't pick Aphelios, they could just surrender. Seriously.
Can you imagine? Like, they're going to go up against Aphelios Akali.
Aphelios Akali.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is... What are you doing, Flash? We just got Yoshino out of bench jail, and now he's picked side. Aphelios is open.
Oh, Serge, please.
Aphelios is open. Jensen, I know you're with Legacy, but please, go help Flash. Flash, even my bird is angry. Rakan's woken up and he's furious.
No, I think he's not angry. He loves to see Zaya.
He saw his wife.
So he's excited because Rakan will get picked by Flash, hopefully, in the next rotation. Please don't give us another CBL Leona. What?
I don't necessarily mind this. No, I highly doubt it. I'm okay with this. I think Aphelios is pretty dangerous to play in the VCS.
So this is a Braum pick here.
Has to be, surely. Or you could pick the Rakan away, but I don't think that's worth it. Or we LCK. We know LCK hadn't started yet, guys, but we wanted to give you a taste, getting some Varus time Kench in. I don't mind the Varus pick. I think it's a bit weird not to pick it over Aphelios. Not sure, and they picked the Jarvan away. Rakan's getting banned. You have to pick Rakan there.
I mean, the Jarvan pick away is okay, but you could have also just banned the Jarvan and went with Rakan. A little bit surprising. Rakan also very strong into
They just banned Italy. Has Flash played on this patch?
So Thorn, obviously, a very famous Nidalee player, but can you play Nidalee right now? That is a question.
But he also didn't play like a Thorn champ last game. He just played Jarvan. He played stock standard. The draft for EVOS was stock standard, and it was super successful. What is Flash doing with these drafts? This is super bad. Rakan, as predicted, that's a free ban. The Zaya's been picked, and now she doesn't get the Rakan synergies. Yep.
Pick and ban can be so easy if the enemy, like Violet is the best position any coach ever was in.
Violet can leave the stage. His players can figure this out. I'd love to be in the EVOS comms right now, just hearing what is going on. Surely at one point, Thorn is going to turn to Violet and go, "Did you pay Flash or something? Because what is happening?"
It's very surprising. And remember, VCS is only 14 best of 3, so the very
Leota ban
can actually matter in the end.
Yeah, absolutely it can. And
so you ban one jungler from Thorn? One? Why? What is this absolutely random Italy ban? Okay, Flash. Stop trolling, please.
This is insane. The Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank is a very good pick into
Tahm Kench. That's true.
Kench, so,
but still,
this Blitzcrank pick is a little bit better than the rest of the draft. First rotation was okay. I just hated the second rotation. Parker going back to his most played champ career-wise, which is
that's good.
Oriana's a very, very strong overall team fighting composition set up here from EVOS. Hard to dive with a lot of counter engage and a side lane and Akali. Already looking like a very good composition. They could go with a little bit of AD damage here.
Oh, is this going to be the Thorn? You can't play Kindred. Oh, Kindred, that's such a bad pick. That is such a bad pick. I love Kindred. Like, I adore Kindred. She's probably my third favorite champion in the game. She's unplayable at the moment.
This is a very LCK type of draft. Very counter engage and disengage heavy composition with a lot of tools to survive the initial burst. And we talked about split pusher for Yoshi. No, don't go Jace, please. Oh God.
So Yulwei, I think it's only the second game of the VCS. I think we have time to just say, you know what? There's no English cast.
Well, hopefully not all the teams are as bad at drafting as Surge is on Team Flash.
So to explain why Kindred is unplayable, farm junglers are awful, scaling junglers are terrible, and you can't counter jungle against a Jarvan as Kindred. Kindred hits all three of those points. Her big mechanic requires counter jungling, and you're into a Jarvan. Yeah, good luck. Like, Kindred's a really bad pick here. They might win because they have 10.1 Akali.
They have Akali.
They have 10.1 Akali, but these are not good drafts overall.
I really don't understand last pick Jace. It's not like Akali can't lane to Jace. She actually is. I mean, she will fall behind in CS, obviously, Jace, but this is not a matchup you're not able to play on Akali. You just go back, go to very safe farming, use your Qs.
Is there a matchup that Akali can't play on 10.1?
I think there are a few very hard matchups that don't really see play and pro play, and some of the
I'm sure
circle champ,
I'm sure there
Darius and Garen are very hard for Akali to deal with.
Yeah, that's true. There are some cheese picks, but we're not going to really see those in pro.
I'm not quite sure about the Fiora matchup. Haven't seen enough of that to really be able to tell who's going to come out on top there. I would have liked to see the Camille. They have it Camille, and Yoshin is a super good split push player, so just get Camille, go even in lane against Akali, and then out split push the enemy team. But in the end, it's Jace, and Jace is not great on this patch, in my opinion. I mean, he got a buff, right? He got buffed on 10.1, a little bit of Q damage, because he was very bad beforehand, but he's still not the greatest of champions.
Yeah, and just addressing that, Blitz is considered a counter into Tahm Kench, because you just hook the and your ult breaks his shield. You don't aim for the carry, you aim for the Tahm Kench. I still actually think it's like one of those counters that's not... Because it... I mean, I think Blitz was probably one of the best of the remaining supports, but you picked Xayah. Like, Slater, why not play Kai'Sa again? At least
I think Xayah is a little bit better, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
he has played 20 games of Xayah as well, so it's not like he's Xayah. All the ADCs that played last year can play Kai'Sa and Xayah. There's where the ADCs playable, so a fine choice. I still question the draft where they went for J4 over Rakan. I would have liked to see Rakan. And he was free, and Rakan is very good into Varus Tahm Kench as well. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could have picked Rakan in the slot where you picked J4 and then just banned J4. I think that would have been a much better decision. But we are in the game now, so all the woes of draft, we just simply will have to live them out. As you were saying, this top lane matchup, Hero will probably lose by 10, 15, maybe 20 CS, but...
No. He's such an effective champ compared to the J... Okay, interesting grip. Not the best start for CBL.
Nope. Look at the is positioning. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Just dropping to 360p. Sorry for burning everyone's eyes. Gonna keep
Look
going.
at Yijin.
Yijin already here.
Lane.
This is not bad. I like this. CBL can set him up with a hook. Yep, flash, E, good job.
Oh, good flash.
This
Very
is really
good flash.
I think we're out of sync a little bit there. Very good flash, you're right. We will resync. Sorry, everyone. We are still just a little bit bootleg.
237.
Can you pause it? Oh, God. 245 is when I'll pause.
Oh, okay.
I missed you.
No problem, no problem. There's not a whole lot happening right now. So. I'll stop at 3 straight.
Oh, God. I thought we were stopping at 245. Oh, no. Hang on. Sorry, boys. We're going to have to sort this out. Can you stop at 3:15?
Let's see if I can. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, we should be synced there. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, they did manage to get the flash off that Kent. So if they want to return gank, it'll be alright. Oh, there's a hook as well. That's not bad. They get the snare and B's just going to die.
Yeah, right. Nicely done. CBL utilizing his Hex Flash there, surprised B a little bit with extended range. Good follow-up from Slater as well. So this time, once against the red side bot lane winning, but this time Team Flash with a very good start in the bot lane. And B.
Ooh, and there's Yijin doing his best Sorn impression with this Jarvan, getting some movement going.
Good flash though.
Yep, good flash. They can't finish him off because Sorn was there.
So,
still not sure how I feel about this Kindred pick.
Watch the same game as last game, the Jarvan being everywhere and pulling off ganks left and right, while the enemy jungler does not do anything. But this time it's Flash, so good start for them. They have to recover from the last game. That has to be quite of a shock. Maybe they try to do something and are actually not as devastated, because maybe they're just like, okay, we will throw something at them, see if it sticks. If not, go back to the normal draft priorities. Who knows?
Yep.
Who knows?
I mean, yeah, I'm not even sure if this is worth a replay. It was just a hook. Sometimes that happens. It's Blitzcrank, right?
That's Blitzcrank buff, by the way. That hook wouldn't have landed a year ago.
Very true. That's still a controversial buff there. Not sure how I feel about range of abilities like that being picked. I'd love for the observer to click on Sorn, because I want to know if he got his first mark on. Not sure which one it marked. For the record, that's another really bad thing about Kindred on this patch. Scuttlecrab is super contested, and you can just lose a 50-50 coin flip and be like, oh, cool, it's on the one that the other junglers can.
Kindred has one thing going for her, which is that some of the camps are just...
Sorry, you cut out there for a second, so...
Sorry. So I think Kindred has at least one thing going for her, which is that some of the junglers don't really like to do certain camps. So if they mark spawns on Crux, and the enemy jungler is not interested in taking Crux, you get a free mark, pretty much. So at least that's something, but I agree with you. I don't like the Kindred pick.
And it's on Gromp. You're never getting the enemy Gromp.
Yeah, I know. Gromp is the most important jungle camp right now. So.
Coming in here, CBL, he's going to look for a hook, but there's nothing to find quite yet. This is a little bit disjointed. Slater is super far back. The teleport's been called. EVS could turn this one. There's the nice E. Hero's here doing so much damage, and bang, DivKid with the snipe. Hero goes forward, but gets in the belly. And he's out of there. This has gone bad. They could very easily dive this. You'd wish it was a level 6 Kindred. But he's going to go anyway. There is the W coming out. The hook, though, that is absolutely huge. The Blitzcrank playing dividends. Gone too far forward. Slater.
So much impatience.
They did not need to do that.
Just wait for the minions to arrive. Why did he go there? A big mistake from Sorn. This already looks like a very different game than game 1.
Yeah,
Last
absolutely.
game we had a 2-1 start for EVS. This time 2-1 for Flash. And at least one of those kills was completely unnecessary. And also, Hero expanded his TP. So now look at the lane. This should be another plating for Yoshino, who has got 2 of his of the platings.
This was such a terrible start to a game. That was so disjointed. Hero coming in doing so much damage. The power of Akali. Good snipe by...
I think Slater also was a little bit too scared of Hero there.
Yeah.
He backed off way too early and actually let his jungler
What
die
are you
for
doing?
no reason.
You don't even want your W down there. You're wasting.
Oh, I know what happened. I know. Oh man, this is a lot of bad coordination between the EVS players. So he saw the ward drop into the brush, and I think he thought it was an enemy ward. So he thought he was spotted, and then had to act because he was spotted. But it actually was the
that
ward
was
of,
a Varus ult going completely wide there. Not a good look there, Div Kid. Maybe riding a little high from last game, but win the trade in the end. Dawn getting Dragon here pretty free.
280? Do we? Oh yeah, we have the stats of Kindred. Let's with AD growth 77, and now we're at 80. 3 AD.
Yep, 3 AD. Gotta love it. They're so good. Also, it's being pointed out, your theory was solid, but he dropped the ward.
Oh, he dropped the ward.
His ward.
Okay. Never mind then.
Oh no, you really hope.
I thought it was Hero because Hero went forward and was actually in range.
Oh, here we go though. Yoshino going forward here onto Hero. Might not have the escape. There's the E and has to use the ult. Yoshino, don't dive. This is still an Akali. Good ult to dodge that Q. But the Jace pick doing exactly what it needs to do. And he's going for the dive here and he's going to get him really easily. Hero disrespecting the pick. Yoshino could be the saving grace, but here comes Thorn. He wants a stack. In fact, he doesn't have his mark on there. Yoshino, nearly turns that, but down he goes. Wolf takes a big old chomp.
Good crit.
Yep. It was crit with the E as well.
Yeah. It was not actually a lucky crit. It was just a crit animation there.
Yep.
It was a little bit...
good hook there. And the Tahm Kent in so much trouble. CBL pinches that kill for himself, but it is a nice kill. This bot lane going very differently. CBL redeeming himself after a clanger of last game.
So in the end, it looks like the J4 pick actually was the right decision, because this J4 is dominating the map like Thorn did in the last game. So J4, a very early priority pick. I talked about him being 96% presence around the globe on 10.2. Didn't check the stats for 10.1 because I thought we would play on 10.2.
Yeah.
But still a very high priority jungler. And while that's so unfortunate. Oh, it resets. No, the smite.
The smite was bad. I liked the little yoink. That's another tower plate. They've got 3 tower plates down here in the bot lane. Really.
Yeah, look at the gold lead.
Very well.
It's more than 2k at 10 minutes. We get another look at the top lane dive. Very nicely done for you.
And this was not a 1-for-1. Look at... Oh, we're not going to get out. We're going out of the replay before we actually... range. But there was a massive wave dying tower. Now a 23 CS lead. This is looking good for Flash. They're 2k up at 10 minutes.
Also, you don't really have to worry about the kill on Kindred. One kill will not suddenly make her a very good champion. If she got a kill on the stack there, maybe you would regret your decision there a little bit. But just the kill, nah, that's fine. You had a lot of experience. You got another plating. You got the top laner didn't get anything from the because it was too long ago, I think.
Yep, Yoshino has TP'd down to the bot lane here. A little bit of trouble here for CBL, but it's still a 4v3, so they should just be able to walk away. In fact, it's 5v3. Everyone in the bot lane. Absolute party. In the end,
so
nothing
this time
really
Yoshino
happened.
wasted TP. Yeah, not great. Yep. He got a lot of free CS and experience, as well as plates early on when Hero TP'd to the bot lane. Now Carty will respond. I like this one.
Yeah, that's smart.
This is good. Catch the wave.
Yeah, Carty's still looking good. He's got a little bit of a gold lead here, but oh no. Gets shockwaved in. Parquet standing in the bush. Hero, good flash! Hero used the first half of his ult prematurely to try and get the execute. But Carty flashes away.
A very creative play from the Orianna. I like that one a lot. Normally you'd see the Q into ult, but he just ulted on top of himself.
Ooh, to not CBL going forward. Alright. I think you meant to hit your hook, man.
This just reminded me of the very old tip. I'm not sure if the tip still exists, but it said something like Blitzcrank fires his right arm, so you can make use of that by positioning it correctly. Just a throwback to old
B
league
though,
times.
once again, getting caught by... Oh, CBL, come on. He was gold for a full second before you pressed that. That was awful, but it's not going to matter. Ooh, the Lamb's Respite does come down to save them there. B, for some reason, didn't want the heal. A little bit silly. There is the chomp from Wolf. DivKid will claim that one. Yoshino, don't know if you really can get in here. Scratch that, because here comes close. Slater. The double kill happens. Yoshino is on such low health. He's going to get the damage on the Parkade. He goes down, but it's a triple kill. And there's another hook. CBL doing so well. That's a pentakill! Isn't it?
What?
Pentakill!
Yeah, it is.
Day one! Day one! Series 1! Slater with the penta!
What? That's ridiculous.
That's absurd! Clip it! Clip it! Man. Clip it, post on Reddit.
First pentakill of the season, I hope. I don't know, there was one in the Casper Cup.
Yeah. Well, that's not a real...
Casper Cup doesn't count.
Casper Cup's not really
Casper Cup is off-season. So
yeah.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Last game we talked about 5-0 DivKid after 10 minutes. Now look at Slater's stats.
DivKid, who's that? We're here with Slater. Here we come with the replay.
Look at this again.
Really dicey. Good Lamb's Respite.
So everyone is very low, obviously, with the Lamb's Respite coming. B doesn't actually get the...
Good turn by Yejin. Look at the damage he did.
Very good grab as well from CBL to get the first kill for Slater. Now look at all the health bar. Very
bang.
From very good crit on Zorn as well. Double kill here, and now Yoshino prolongs the fight. Looks very silly what he does here. But he buys enough time for Slater and CBL to catch up. Very good grab.
Bang. Penta.
And B? Yeah, B could have gotten out there, but he wanted to give the pentakill over.
I mean, it's actually interesting because B didn't get healed by the Lamb's Respite. He walked out.
Yep.
Another 150 health would have made a pretty big difference.
Indeed, yeah. He walked out of the Lamb's Respite for no good reason.
Yep, it was pretty dumb. But... Flash now, miles ahead, 5k gold lead. They get the second Drake. They're getting that 2 armor. And it's another Ocean Rift. The bushes spring to life. Flash, can you get revenge?
Now Flash can get the strongest Dragon Soul in the game. This game looks oddly similar to the first one. Seems like Red Side has a big advantage today. And maybe it was just first game of the season Flash. Because we know Flash first games are not great, so... Well, looks way better in this game. And I wanted to praise all the people who predicted EVS to win the series.
Did anyone? And there's another hook.
Yeah, 2 people actually
Oh my god, CBL after last game was like, alright, I think the coach might be...
I'm not sure what B was thinking there.
Yeah, B not looking good.
That is... B should be able to just W him out of the grab, but... Not too far away from his ADC. Another free kill for Slater. Legendary at 15 minutes.
I mean, this is... I think CBL, he might have gotten a little bit of a side-eye from the coach. And like, better justify my paycheck this game. Boy, he's been hitting some good hooks. I mean, some of them have been kind of gifted to him. But you got to take the gifts, right? Can't say no.
And this is an Uma-Jan game if I've ever seen one. Uma-Jan game. Because 75% crit, 2 finished AD items at 15 minutes.
And I mean, is this worth a replay? B turns around like, oh no. Someone take that, and as B turns around, put the, and that's when he knew the word I'm not going to say.
Yeah, not a whole lot to say about this game anymore.
No, it's like 2 games where it's just been just...
And Flash was one of our best mid-game teams last year, especially before they collapsed, mentally, mostly. They had, I think, the shortest game time of all the teams in VCS, because they stomped quite a few of the games, and they were able to... Let's see if Flash still has it, and if Flash can still... maybe even one-up EVS and win in under 26 minutes.
Ooh, I mean, they're looking like they possibly can, and Yoshino has a pretty big CS lead. Definitely, he hasn't been sharing in the bounties of the bot lane. So he can't quite push too much of a lead, but this is an entire item on Slater over DivKid. It's a full item.
It's ridiculous.
It's an IE.
It's ridiculous. It's not even a cheap item. It's like 3,400 gold. Okay, easy. Yeah.
This Kindred pick hasn't justified itself.
I still have to say I'm not the biggest fan of the Jace pick. I don't quite understand what its purpose is, but in the end, if bot lane stomps this hard, you can pick whatever you like, and then the solo lanes.
Yep. And
I think though some of the people in chat really didn't like our MVP to DivKid, I think this time Slater actually, with very good ADC play, very good patience on the Zarya, knew when to walk forward and uses a line damage to secure the kills. So this game maybe a little bit more.
The game's not over yet.
To the ADC.
Game's not over yet. Can't be giving out MVP yet. Maybe EVS could still win. Over.
Okay.
Come on, boys. This is ranked. Never give up. Get our LP.
It's probably Parker and Hero right now blocking the surrender vote.
Yeah.
50-minute surrender. Or maybe just Parker. So everyone wants to surrender, and then Parker's like, no, I'm just 1-1.
Yeah, no, me carry. We scale. Oh, my word. They technically scale, I think. They do have a Carly and Orianna, but it's not going to happen.
They have a very weird team comp in team fights. Very defensive, as we said in Champ Select.
Yeah.
Very much counter engage focused and waiting for the enemy carries to overstep. They don't really have anything to defend against the Blitzcrank. Whoever gets grabbed is just insta-dead.
Yep.
That's a little bit of a problem.
It needs
especially
to be.
With CBL stepping up his game.
Pretty much just needs to be. But I don't think B's going to do that. He hasn't really been showing that this game. They just need to force fights, right? The problem is sometimes these leads come too early. They can't force Soul because they've only got one Drake. There's no Baron on the map, so they're just kind of like
far away from the Soul.
I guess we take an inner tower and get a charge on an inhib, which is good. That does a lot of damage.
It's also good to see patience from a VCS team. And that's why I praised Flash quite a lot last season for their mid game, because I think they are actually teams here. Just take it slowly. You don't have to grow your lead. You're 9k ahead. If you stay at 9k, this game's over, especially with the ADC advantage. Just collect all the objectives you can, set up for Baron, which will spawn in 10 seconds, and then just take Baron, take Soul, end the game.
So, I will admit to not necessarily watching every single game. Professional League of Legends. Truly shameful, I know. Is this the only other Akali pick of 10.1? Is it going to come out of 10.1 professional play with a 0% win? Is it lost in the LPL?
0% win rate?
Is it lost in the LPL as well? And I don't think anyone else let it through on 10. I might be wrong. As I said, I haven't watched every game, but is Akali on 10.1 one of the most broken champions ever going to have a 0% win rate?
At least on major regions, I think it was only left with one. It had one win with all the regions on 10.2, so 100% win rate, 10.2. But we might get to see Akali 0% win rate on 10.1 with 100% at only 2 games played.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Baron has just spawned. He's come into the world, stretched out his little weird head tentacles thing, going, oh, it's a bright new day on the... Why are they already here? Very confused as to who is already in his little pit. And down in the bot lane, Yoshino just gave up a solo kill. That's not very good. He's 1-3. This Jace pick is really bad.
Once again, validating us for criticizing his pick. Not the biggest fan of the Jace.
Yeah, the Jace was a bad pick. I actually still think Flash's comp is good. I think
the draft was still not
Aphelios was better than Zarya, but when you get gifted this, so far ahead. Oh, Sorn, get out of there. Oh, yeah, it's only...
Yeah, Flash realized they only had the
ult.
Okay,
he couldn't even get the ult off.
I think it was silence there.
Coming
in. Later.
He might have been silenced. You're quite correct. They're going to push forward here. Jungler's down. They've got Baron. Mid lane tower is already low. I mean, this is like they're playing a game of catch. It's like a father and a son in the backyard just tossing a ball to each other. Who's going to throw harder? We've got another game of this. Someone has to win the throws.
Well, we have action-packed games, so at least it's not LCS TSM against Immortals every game. I think I would be able to stand that, but very quick, very action-packed games, and yeah, why not give us
and here we go. CBL going in really good Lamb's Respite, getting heaps of value, stopping about 4 of them dying. But they're just going to walk into the mid lane, get a free in here, but because they all have to run back to the fountain, get some health back.
Cardi's alone in the mid lane.
Cardi might not be able to get this, but he can back off. He's got phase rush. They'll get the bottom tower. And this is just Flash pressing the boot down. It's already on the throat. The windpipe's already broken, but they're just finishing them off like an old.
Looking at Cardi. Oh, we get to see the solo kill again. Yoshino is just dealing with a Carly. Can't see her, right? And she just killed her. Killed him. Man, Carly.
200 years of collective game design.
I knew it.
Uh-oh! I love that video. Watched it about 20 times.
So now we have 100% crits later at 23 minutes. But that's not a lot of fun for the enemy team. No. Look at the enemy champions. We have 1.5 items on the jungler. He's probably 3-shot right now from Slater.
Yeah.
Same goes for Divkid and Parker.
Put it out there. That solo kill happened, Ollie. Delete that item, Riot. Delete it. It's broken on anyone that uses it. It's like it's used by like 3 champions, and they're all degenerate when they use it. Delete it. Items are
also problem. Those 3 champs can't function without the item. Yeah. So definitely the items problem.
TH gets called in. Oh, I accidentally called him by the bad name.
So he just drops this.
He's actually going to turn this. The big chomp is going to come down. Cataclysm gets interrupted there, but down goes Akali in the back line. Yoshino coming in from the side. He's just standing there. What? Yoshino just stood there.
Nice. Menacingly staring at the enemy while.
I do apologize for the.
Understand what his teammates are.
I do apologize for the little bit of lag there. It is actually on. Apologize. But all 3 lanes getting pushed here. Absolutely nothing EVOS can do. The solo ult on a Blitzcrank. CBL will go down. Oh no. Surely they're very sad at losing their trade for an inhib and an inhib turret.
Yep. It stopped the push to the bottom inhibitor. So at least a little bit of value. And CBL still a little bit too aggressive today. Which is interesting because he was one of the most... not passive, but not aggressive support, or what is the correct word? Defensive supports. There we go.
Yoshino,
look at Slater.
Yoshino, I found it very funny when it happened, but he just said you can't run this way.
Yeah,
pretty smart.
Yeah, he didn't want to enter the brush because there was a pink ward and he didn't have the vision. So smart decision there from Yoshino. He went down this game. So finally taking a little bit of a backseat and watching Slater carry him, which is something he didn't really experience on GUM, right? His ADC was Xin, and before that Hugh, and he had to carry. So now very nice experience for Yoshino.
Was definitely I mean, what I find very funny is there is a 10-0 Slater and a 4-2 Divkid. Bad performance. If you kind of ignore the right side of your screen, therefore.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what are they doing? Guys? Space? Hello? Cardi just realm warped out of that?
Nicely done.
That was really, really good, by the way. But what were they doing? There's the hook. B catches another hook. Goodbye.
Ooh, that's the tank, by the way.
Yep. Tankiest member. Here comes Yoshino. Gets that accelerated shock blast. Does a bit of damage.
Yes, no mana. Doesn't matter anymore. Carti has hit level 16. Slater, 100% crit. This game is very, very over. Another grab attempt from CBL. This time doesn't land it. The Akali tries to do something, but she's only on one item.
I mean,
not
one
a whole
item
lot happening
Akali
there.
can do plenty, but still. And here is potentially yet another hook lands. Down goes Hero, that Akali. We love to see her die. But yeah, they're just going to polish this one off, and it's going to be 1-1. Two of the most one-sided games I think we've ever seen.
Yep. Very one-sided start to the VCS, but at least two different teams winning. Red side 2-0, 2 sub-30-minute victories, which is interesting because if you look at the global average of game time, I think LPL sits at 33 minutes, LEC at 35 point something, and LCS at 36 something. So us, VCS clocking in with definitely like something like 27 minutes. We are a very quick region, and yeah, Stomp to Stomp. Will we see another Stomp in game 3? Or a little bit more of a contested?
Hopefully
like
not.
To see.
Definitely hope that get a little bit more contested. And I know there is a little bit of tech issue here. Yulwei is overflowing, but
I grew a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But we're trying to fix that up. I promise. Try and get that fixed up for the next game. Might just restart the stream really quickly, just so I can fix that. Just 2 minutes, guys. We are going into a break. We'll be back very soon for Game 3 of EVOS versus Flash. Before we go, MVP, I know you're about to catch me. Go ahead. I want to fix this. It's bothering me.
So, yeah, it doesn't look too great, but we'll have this sorted out for the next game. Hopefully. The MVP for this game, once again, the ADC. He got a pentacle, and he actually played very, very well. Didn't die. Yeah. Feels a little bad to give MVP to the ADC once again. I think CBL had a pretty good game on the Blitzcrank as well, landed some crucial hooks.
Yeah.
But he also inted sometimes on the base. He entered there. Slater?
Yeah, I think Slater. I mean, we're going to get flamed for picking another ADC.
Yeah, probably.
CBL definitely had a really good game. I promise, normally we mad overrate support. I promise. But I think this time it's just...
Yeah, it's a pentacle. You have to give it to him. And he actually did something for the pentacle. He stepped forward in exactly the right time. Very good feather usage and placement as well. So good game for CBL. Honorable mention. Very good game for Heejin as well. Not so great for Yoshino, but the MVP will go to Slater. And 2 ADC MVPs for the first 2 games.
Yes, exactly. And I will just be restarting the stream. Just 2 seconds. I want to fix this graphic, but I need to go around with things. So I'll be back in just a moment for Game 3. Hope you guys stick around. Hope you're enjoying. See you guys in just a second.